Live from WHDH-TV Boston. This is 7 News at 11 on the news station. A new baffling case of anthrax. For the first time, it's in New England.
We're a little bit disturbed as to how this could have happened at this point.
Tonight, the anthrax mystery moves closer to home.
And good evening. The latest case is in Connecticut, a woman with no obvious connection to all of the known cases of anthrax.
In fact, she's a 94-year-old woman who now has tested positive for the more deadly inhalation anthrax. Tonight, she is in critical condition in a hospital in Derby, Connecticut. The Night Team's Terry Adler is there bringing us the coverage.
Inside the intensive care unit at Griffin Hospital, a family sits bedside next to 94-year-old Ottilie Lundgren, the latest victim of inhalation anthrax. An elderly woman who told her doctor just last week she wasn't feeling well.
She had some very, very non-specific symptoms. She was feeling poorly, the kind of symptoms that we talk about with viral infections.
And there were initial blood cultures that were obtained, and those came back preliminary as having bacteria that could be in the same family as anthrax.
The 94-year-old lives alone in rural Oxford, Connecticut. All paths to her quiet street have been roped off, only allowing emergency vehicles in and out. But Connecticut's governor says despite the startling news, residents should not overreact.
I would encourage people tomorrow to go about their lives. There's no reason to suspect this is a specific terrorist attack or that we have been targeted in any way, shape, or form.
The governor's attempt to calm fears is not absolute. This latest case of inhalation anthrax has broken a sense of security here in central Connecticut.
I'm scared. It's getting a little too close, you know, let alone to think it could happen in Connecticut. It's happened in, you know, my hometown. First off, very scary thought.
And more test results are expected back tomorrow. Now to the nation's capital, where anthrax spores are found at the office of Senator Ted Kennedy. The Night Team's Victoria Block is there live. Vicki.
Katerina, police are calling it an isolated incident. Health professionals say no one's in danger. Still, investigators have closed down the offices belonging to a Connecticut and Massachusetts senator after following the anthrax mail trail right to their doors. Lights on, nobody home at the Russell Senate office building on Capitol Hill.
Based upon what we know now, I feel that we've done a very thorough job of identifying the areas where possible anthrax contamination exists.
It exists in Senator Chris Dodd and Senator Ted Kennedy's office, both evacuated after the finding, following a weekend sweep of the building.
Members of the staff have spent time just in the course of the afternoon being briefed by the medical personnel on the Hill who are answering their questions.
Investigators believe it's a case of cross-contamination, that the anthrax wasn't necessarily sent to Ted Kennedy's office, but that some of his mail came in contact with other letters sent to lawmakers here on Capitol Hill. On Friday, Senator Patrick Leahy received a letter with enough deadly anthrax spores to kill 2 people.
We have to understand that we have a very, very vicious murderer out there. We should all be concerned about it.
While the FBI continues to investigate, medical officials say contamination is minimal.
There will not be any recommendation for any testing in this particular situation, nor any recommendation for treatment.
At least for now, anyway. The suites being decontaminated over the weekend, and both expecting to reopen on Monday. Except for the Kennedy and Dodd suites, the Russell building will be open tomorrow. Reporting live from Washington, D.C., I'm Victoria Block, 7 News Night Team.
A shocking discovery in Boston is new at 11 o'clock. The bodies of 2 college students found in an apartment in the Mission Hill neighborhood. This appears to be an accidental drug overdose. The Night Team's Dan Housley at the scene now covering the story for us.
This is a neighborhood of row houses, a lot with college kids from a number of colleges in this area. A police officer told me tonight that 6 lives are shattered. Not only the lives of the 2 kids who were dead of an overdose, but also the lives of the 4 who were their hosts here, and the boys died in their apartment. There was nothing paramedics could do. Boston police say they found 2 South Shore 19-year-olds dead of a drug overdose in this 3rd-floor apartment. Investigators say the suburban kids were here visiting 4 buddies who go to Mass College of Pharmacy. The buddies say they were out, and when they came back, they found the 2 South Shore teenagers dead. Garrett Mills is a Northeastern senior who lives downstairs.
you hear about drug use all the time. You see it, you know, I mean, just as much at parties, but at the same time, anytime something like this happens, it's a shock, you know.
Investigators say no one's sure right now what drugs the South Shore 19-year-old overdosed on. The medical examiner will try to answer that question. Homicide investigators took a pass on this case, indicating there was no foul play, but we understand that a police officer is inside keeping an eye, and there may be an attempt to get a search warrant to look further in this case. No word on the identities of the two boys who are dead. We understand that some of the parents may have been here earlier tonight, and it was quite an emotional scene. We're live in Mission Hill. Dan Housley, 7 News 19.
A record number of people will be traveling this holiday week, but most who leave home will stay on the ground from the roads. Nearly 90% of all people traveling this Thanksgiving will be driving, according to AAA. That's a new record. To the rails, Amtrak is also expecting a record number of passengers, so if you're planning to take the train, you need to make a reservation. And to the runways at Logan tonight, industry experts say air travel will be down at least 15% from last year. That's because of the weak economy and fear of flying. For those who do fly, security is tight.
This is what it takes to get home. I'm willing to.
You got to do it, huh?
Yeah.
I think it's more secure as, you know, with all the stuff that's going on. I feel really safe. So I feel good about it.
And if you're planning to fly for Thanksgiving, make sure you give yourself plenty of time. Airline employees are checking and double-checking IDs, and screeners are taking more time to look at luggage.
It's money used to help families have a happy holiday season, but tonight it is all gone. And now police in Quincy are trying to figure out just who ripped off the Salvation Army. The Night Team's Chris May live in Quincy now with new information for us.
Randy, thieves are responsible for literally ripping open this Salvation Army safe. You see it here behind me. Quite a bit of damage done to this, but perhaps more damage done to the people of Quincy who've given so generously over the past few days. The holidays are a time of charity, and no group is more closely associated with giving than the Salvation Army. Its core of bell ringers and celebrity volunteers raise millions of dollars for needy people every winter.
This is a huge door.
And that's what makes this story so disappointing. $2,000 stolen from this safe at Quincy Salvation Army headquarters. All the money that had been raised during the first 2 days of bell rings.
We had a lot of people out there working hard, a lot of donors just generously giving, and they was for the intent of helping people.
Major Doug Jones believes 2 men broke into his building between 9 o'clock Monday night and 4 o'clock Tuesday morning, ripping the huge safe from an office and cutting it open in the gym next door.
The safe, when we found it, was kind of here with the opening toward this light. So this light we couldn't be seen from the outside, but would give them enough light to work.
Jones doubts an employee is responsible, and while Quincy police are investigating, he says the thieves lost far more than they've gained.
Money isn't everything. There's integrity, and there's a value of life, and I think you've kind of stepped over a line that you just don't want to step over.
Major Jones has been involved with the Salvation Army for 25 years. He says that he has never seen money stolen like this, and that he doesn't really have a plan to recover the money other than to send those bell ringers back out onto the streets. Now, if you'd like more information on the Salvation Army or to find out how to help, log on to our website at WHDH.com and look for the special links section. We're live tonight. I'm Chris May, 7 News 19.
Tonight, the recount results are in from the mayoral election in Quincy. A hand recount shows William Phelan has defeated 6-term incumbent James Sheets by 17 votes. It was the closest mayoral election in Quincy's history.
I'll remember every day that this is not my office, that the office belongs to the people of Quincy.
The full hand recount of all 30 precincts took 2 days to complete.
Justice Department building in Washington, D.C. is renamed in honor of the late Robert F. Kennedy. A ceremony was held today at the Justice Department on what would have been Kennedy's 76th birthday. In attendance, the Attorney General John Ashcroft, President Bush, members of the Kennedy family. Robert Kennedy served as the Attorney General in the early 1960s. He was assassinated in 1968. His oldest son spoke at the ceremony and said the honor is so appropriate.
He was so moved by his passion for justice that he was willing to make the personal and political sacrifices that others shied away from in order to try to achieve it.
In the history of this department and in the memory of our country, we hold a special place for Robert Francis Kennedy.
And this afternoon, the Kennedy family also visited Arlington National Cemetery, leaving flowers at Robert Kennedy's grave. Next, it is birth control and the breakthrough.
And experts say it's just as effective as the pill. The story coming up.
Are you hurt, frustrated, or how do you feel?
Next question. Drew Bledsoe benched. Hear what he has to say about being part of Tom Brady's bunch.
It's turned a lot colder tonight, but what about Thanksgiving Day and the big holiday weekend? I'll have you forecast a bit later.
On Wall Street today, the Dow dropped more than 75 points. The NASDAQ also took a hit, down just about 54 points.
Coming up next on 7 News at 11. Don't let money problems ruin your relationship. Susie's got the solution to settle your financial disputes.
There are emotional reasons behind it.
From budgeting income to bank accounts, learn the best ways to manage your love and money. That's just minutes away on 7 News.
7 News is brought to you in part by Mercedes-Benz, the new C-Class. Live a lot.
This is 7 News with Randy Price and Caterina Bandini. Harvey Leonard with weather. And Gene Levanchi with sports on the news station.
Well, forget the pill. Now there's a new way to prevent pregnancy. It was just approved today by the FDA. And we're told it's easy to use. You only have to apply it once a week.
And the Night Team's Amy Johnson shows us how it combines convenience and protection.
About 38 million American women use some form of birth control. But a recent survey shows 75% are looking for something more convenient. And today, the FDA has approved what could be the birth control breakthrough, a contraceptive patch. It's called Ortho Evra and is considered 99% effective, the same as birth control pills.
I feel very comfortable recommending Ortho Evra to my patients because it's safe, it's effective, and it's non-invasive. It gives them flexibility in their very active lifestyles.
The patch can be worn in 4 different places: the upper outer arm, the upper torso, abdomen, or buttocks. It's changed once a week for 3 consecutive weeks, and the 4th week is patch-free. The patch is worn while bathing, swimming, and exercising.
Ortho Evra was an excellent option for my particular lifestyle because I was able to take it with me wherever I went, whether that was the water park with my children, whether it was out of town.
Convenient, and here's how it works. Hormones are released from the patch and absorbed into the skin, then passes through the bloodstream and works just like the pill to prevent pregnancy.
Now, the side effects are similar to those of birth control pills, including increased risk of blood clots, heart attack, and stroke. The patch will be available by prescription in 2002. The exact price has not been determined yet, but representatives say it should be comparable to the pill. Live in the newsroom, Amy Johnson, 7 News Night Team. 'Tis the season for spending, but is money putting a strain on your relationship? It is on many. Tonight, 7's Jeff Dedarian sits down with Susie Orman for expert advice on managing love and money.
Question: what's the #1 cause of divorce in the United States? Answer: money. Financial expert Susie Orman has gone so far as to say that wedding vows should be changed to say, "Until death do us part." We recently caught up with the best-selling author for advice on turning a clash into cash and making the most of your money together.
You have got to go into a relationship finding out everything about that person when it comes to their money. Do they bring debt from when they were single into this marriage?
Orman says find out and talk about it. It's advice that should apply to all serious relationships, not just to those who are hitched. Patty and David Elder have been married for 10 years. It's about that long since Patty made something very clear right from the get-go.
She put me on a budget and took it over.
The checking account was hers.
Well, I think she got the job because she hated the way I did it.
Instead of adding and doing the right math, he'd round up or round off. We never knew what the real balance ever was.
Like most couples, the Elders learned pretty quickly about the stress of managing the monthly bills and the stress relief. Honesty for one. Orman says know who the saver is and who's spending.
I'd say Dave is more the saver. I'll be the one that spends more or uses credit more.
Don't be afraid to think in threes. Orman says there should be 3 checking accounts in the family. Each partner has their own separate account. That's 2. Then 1 joint checking account for paying the bills. Orman says each partner should put in equal percentages of their take-home pay into this account.
Then that gives you equal power within the relationship.
Orman says talk with each other, not to each other.
When a wife looks at her husband and says, you don't need another ticket to another baseball game, you don't need this, all of a sudden you start to think that I'm your mother. We're married. We're equals.
Lastly, if you need to start saving money right now, all you need is a piece of paper and pen.
Write on a piece of paper how much you think it costs you to live month in and month out on average for an entire year. I will guarantee you that you will find that you spend $1,000 to $1,500 more per month than you wrote down on that little piece of paper.
Remember, presents during the holidays and vacations need to get added into your budget too.
You have to budget. You can't not know what you spend. If you don't know and you just go to ATMs and pull out money and have no idea, you're in big trouble.
After 10 years of love and money, that's advice that's worth every penny. Jeff Dadarian, 7 News.
And for more expert advice from Susie Ormond, go to WHDH.com and look for the features box.
Now, time for 7 weather with Chief Meteorologist Harvey Leonard.
This has been the fall for the up and down temperature pattern. Now we're sliding back down again. 39 in Boston with a northwest wind and a barometer that is rising. But check some of the numbers elsewhere. And we have places that are freezing and below. Bedford's 30, Lawrence is 32. Get far enough north and west, we're in the upper 20s, as you can see. So yes, it's going to be a chilly start to the day tomorrow. Look at Plymouth down to 25 and Norwood down to 24. So we'll have those cold pockets around, no doubt about that. Got to share this with you, though. Let's say you were in Worcester early today. Well, midnight it was 50 degrees, and 4 a.m. it was 55. But then the cold front came through between about 6 and 7 in the morning, and look what happened by 8 in the morning. Dropped all the way down to 37 and barely recovered to 41 in the afternoon. But the rainfall we had, very meager. A little bit more in central Mass, like around Worcester. A few moderate showers around mid-morning. But I got to tell you, once it moved east, just a few light showers, and we are still way below normal in the rainfall department. Well, the rain-producing clouds have moved offshore now. We have a little instability cloudiness off to the north and west, so see a few clouds overnight. But for the most part, looks like a nice, bright day tomorrow. Yes, we're in a colder northwesterly wind, but the wind won't be too strong tomorrow, so it'll be okay. And I know that's a big travel day, of course, for so many. Then we'll have milder weather come in here on Thanksgiving Day itself. That'll be the mildest day of the next bunch. A very tranquil Thanksgiving in terms of our weather. So tonight, clear and cold. A few clouds off to the northwest. Right around 32 in Boston at dawn, but about 20 in some of those interior valleys. Tomorrow, great getaway day, or people are coming to you. Sunshine, 40 to 45, northwesterly breeze to start, southwest to finish, but not too strong, just 5 to 15 miles per hour. Look at the country tomorrow. Low 40s here in Boston, but mild and dry across much of the nation, except it will be a bit damp around the Pacific Northwest. Tomorrow night, partly cloudy, staying above freezing in Boston, a bit below in the suburbs, and then Thanksgiving Day, mostly sunny. Look at the afternoon, 50 to 55. A few more specifics for you for the beginning of the high school football games, probably about 42, fair amount of sun, then reaching 52 outside as you feast inside. Of course, with those big stomachs you're going to have by late in the day, you're going to snooze for a little nap, and by then it'll be about 47 degrees. Here's the extended forecast as we look toward Friday. Partly sunny skies, a little bit cooler. The wind will go east, and once that happens, eventually Friday night, Saturday, probably some low clouds and drizzle will develop for the middle and latter portion of the weekend. We'll keep you updated, and Todd with wake-up weather from 5 to 7 a.m. tomorrow.
All right, Harvey, he's got that Thanksgiving Day down, including the snooze.
Thinking about the food.
Well, dozens of people in need get a warm holiday meal.
And this is always a treat for them, an early Thanksgiving feast, thanks to volunteers from Project Bread. At the First Unitarian Church in Cambridge tonight, volunteers served up a dinner of chicken and pasta. Project Bread is the leading hunger relief organization in the region, is dedicated to preventing and ending hunger in Massachusetts.
If you want to help Project Bread in the fight against hunger, you can call them at 617-723-5000 or go to WHDH.com and look for the special links box. Well, she did it. She took the stage for the first time.
And next in 7 Sports, Drew is blue because he's now the #2 man. We'll hear from the Patriots' backup quarterback. And the Red Sox add a bat they hope will help. Sports is on the way.
Want to shop smarter? Get what you want for less, no matter what the tag says. From watches to washers, cars to computers, 7 News shows you how to never pay full price. Tomorrow at 11 on 7 News. Time for 7 Sports with Gene LaVenci.
Drew Bledsoe may be ahead of Tom Brady alphabetically, but he's behind him where it counts on the depth chart. Patriots coach Bill Belichick says Brady will be the starting quarterback the rest of the way, making Drew Bledsoe a very expensive and very unhappy backup quarterback. Brady's been the starter for the past 8 weeks, and he has a 5-3 mark in that span. With 6 games left in the season, Coach Belichick wants to settle on one guy to take the reps in practice. He says it's no reflection on Drew Bledsoe in any way, but the coach maintains this is the best call for the team at this time. Bledsoe's frustrated and trying his best to take the high road.
Do whatever I can to help my team win. And in this particular case, that means continuing as I have to help Tom, to help him on the field, to help him during the week.
Are you hurt, frustrated, or how do you feel?
Next question.
In any way did you see this coming, Drew?
I'll just put it this way. I look forward to the chance to compete for my job. And I'll leave it at that.
How do you feel like you're able to compete if you're not able to get any snaps or practice?
Next question.
There you go. Bruins are back on the road and back to losing. The Bees taking a 2-1 lead into the third period tonight, but they could not hold off Montreal. The Bees' 3-game winning streak out the window. Bruins lead at 1-0 in the first when Brian Ralston lugs the puck up ice, and he just keeps on going. Ralston putting this one home after a great effort. 2-0 Boston after 1. We skip ahead to the third period. Bruins lead at 2-1. The Canadians in the power play. Martin Rosinski redirects one in front, and it's all even at 2. Late in the third, Montreal hustles to the puck, and Andres Dockel in front wraps it home, and that's the game winner. Montreal comes from behind to beat the Bruins 3-2 the final. College hockey, Jack Parker still working the BU bench as Terriers playing at Harvard tonight. 1-1 game in the second when the Terriers storm the net. Franz Gladini flips home the rebound. BU moves in front 2-1. Terriers then forcing the turnover deep in the Harvard zone. Greg Johnson curls in the faceoff circle, snaps home the first of his 3 on the night, 5-2. Johnson rounds out his hat trick in the third. Some nice footwork. He slides it home. Terriers double up the Crimson 8-4. Tony the Tiger is now wearing red socks. The Red Sox grabbing Tony Clark off waivers from Detroit today. The 29-year-old switch-hitting first baseman hits with some power, although injuries have slowed him the past 2 years. And Clark loves hitting at Fenway, where he owns a career .382 batting average. The Mariners' Ichiro Suzuki is the American League's most valuable player. He joins the Red Sox' Fred Lynn as the only player to win MVP and Rookie of the Year honors in the same season. Ichiro finishing just 8 points ahead of the A's Jason Giambi in the balloting. And speaking of Giambi, the New York Post reports the Yankees are set to offer him a 7-year deal worth $119 million. George Steinbrenner has made it clear landing Giambi is his #1 off-season priority. The Post reports the deal could be closed as early as next week. And that's going to take care of sports for now. We'll see you again tomorrow.
All right, Gene, thank you. Her fans have been waiting for this night for a long time.
Tomorrow morning on Today in New England.
It's one of the busiest travel days of the year, and we've got you covered. What to do if your car breaks down.
Plus, what are your rights as a passenger when your flight is canceled? 7 News helps you travel smarter.
Todd's got that all-important holiday forecast.
That's tomorrow morning on Today in New England.
Beginning at 5.
7 News is brought to you in part by Cadillac. Come to the Cadillac Technology Drive going on now.
Is over. Jennifer Lopez rocks millions of living rooms tonight.
Quite the show.
She looks fantastic.
Yep.
Thank you for joining us this Tuesday night. I'm Katarina Bandy.
I'm Randy Price. The Tonight Show is next. Good night.